Good morning, everyone. It's time for another spiritual download, and this one is about relationships, be it business, educational, family, friend, romantic. Take it however it resonates for you. Before I start, I want to thank you again for the growing support of the channel. I simply want to share my previous experiences, lessons from my previous experience with others in hopes that they can make it through whatever it is they're going through. Make the life a little bit better and lighten the load a little bit. And if only one person receives something from these messages, I am okay with that. Because it's not about numbers or popularity with me. It's just that I feel that I need to share. And I'm going to keep doing it till I can't speak no more. So with that being said, let me get into it. It's about boomerang relationships. Now, you guys already know that's what I'm going to call this, boomerang relationships. You already know what I'm talking about, because if you've been listening to this channel, you already know where I'm coming from. So you already know what I'm about to say. People involved in boomerang relationships do not value their time and they do not value their energy. I don't care how much money they've got. I don't care how much education they've got. I don't care how physically beautiful they are or how much they give away to people because they're so kind and generous. It doesn't matter. People like this who get involved in boomerang relationships, they don't value the time and energy that they have, and they do not have that strong of a spiritual connection. They don't. Because I'm going to tell you something. Once you establish that strong spiritual connection, those are the two things that's going to change in your life. The way you spend your time and the way you spend your energy, that's going to be almost immediate. Once you start to strengthen that spiritual connection with your higher power, once you decide to level up your interaction with your God, your Jehovah, your Jah, your Yahweh, whatever name you want to refer to spirit. And it's not going to be by choice. It's going to happen instantaneously because you're going to start looking at things different, things that you're involved in, people that you interact with, and your time and energy are going to become more valuable to you. And for a lot of you, when you make the change to get closer to your higher power, it's going to ruin your relationship that you're currently in. And a lot of you are struggling with that right now. And you're struggling in two ways. Number one, you're struggling because you were looking for a way out, but you wasn't expecting it to be like this. You were expecting it maybe to be another job offer or a person so you could physically leave. You didn't think that you were going to go through some kind of spiritual turmoil because you got to check yourself in order to make it through. So you weren't looking for that. So you're holding on to this person and you're discounting all the messages and the signs and everything that Spirit is giving you. And you're misinterpreting that as, oh, that's an obstacle. Oh, that's the devil doing it. No. And I'm going to tell you why it's not. It was the devil that ruled the whole relationship in the first place because you didn't involve Spirit. Let me say that again. It was the devil that ruled your relationship because in the beginning it didn't involve Spirit. Hope you heard me in the back. See, a lot of y'all are thinking, oh, this person's a godsend, a God said, but see, God didn't send that person to you, and you turn around and want to say God, and anytime there's a problem, you want to say it's the devil, when in actuality it was the other way around. The way you brought into that person in that situation was hell-bent, was a disaster, was negative, had nothing to do with God, and you probably didn't even mention God when you first got together because your situation was messed up. Both being in third-party relationships, and then finally the third parties find out about it and y'all both get dumped and y'all together. How is that God? How is that God? First of all, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to throw this in, and I know it kind of is a little bit off of the subject, but anyway, it kind of ties in. How in the world you going to be involved in a third-party relationship, and then you get involved with somebody else in a third-party relationship, and then when both of the third parties find out about it and dump the both of us, we going to get together and actually think it's going to be fruitful. Why should I trust you, and why should you trust me? Don't you have that underlying fear in the back of your mind that your partner's going to do the same thing to you, get you involved in a third-party relationship because they didn't have no hesitation doing it before? Doesn't that come across your mind? Anyway, I digress. Let me go back to the subject. Boomerang relationship. Okay, like I said, the first reason is because you finally realize that this is a hell-bent relationship and not a heaven-sent relationship. This is a hell-bent relationship and not a heaven-sent relationship. You realize that. Okay, and you trying to figure out what you need to do to get out of it, because now you're thinking different. You're looking at things differently, and you realize that, hey, this ain't going nowhere. Or you could be part of the other half, and the other half is most difficult because you can't tell them shit. You dig your heels in and figure because you got this new spiritual connection that you're going to come here and you're going to whitewash and make everything sparkly clean in your relationship that's wrong, including your partner. Your partner ain't even nowhere at the level of thinking or consciousness that you're in, but you're going to come in and start doing things and saying things and changing routines and changing the house around. And, all these little physical things, you're going to start doing these physical things in hopes that your partner says, oh, wow, everything's so wonderful and great with you. Man, you're just a new person. I love you so much. Show me. You know how fucking remote that is, that that's going to happen? And you're scared to get out of it. And for these two reasons, your relationship is off again, on again, off again, on again. If you don't physically leave each other, then you wind up having somebody sleeping in the other bedroom for 2-3 months. And then finally you get back together and everything's okay. Or the other person is spending a little extra time out and the other person's at home. It's one of those type of things. You're emotionally detached. And that only happens for maybe another, maybe 2-3 days, 2-3 weeks, 2-3 months, however it resonates. That happens. And then you realize you can't be without him because you're in love. And you get right back with him and shit happens all over again. Boomerang. The arguing, the bickering, every single little thing. And shit gets on, that person's presence get on your nerves. You can't stand them. And here we go, another 2-3 days, 2-3 weeks, 2-3 months. Take it how it resonates. You know how a boomerang works is that you throw it out, and because of some kind of special aerodynamic design that it has and, correlation with physics and all that, it actually comes back to the source that threw it. But the thing is, what you're supposed to do is when it comes back, you're supposed to catch it. You're supposed to catch it. And I heard in some circles that if you want it to be good luck or whatever it is, you're supposed to catch it with the same hand you threw it with. I mean, don't get me to lying here, but, old wives' tale superstitions or whatever. About if you want good luck, if you throw the boomerang, make sure you catch it with the same hand you threw it with, whatever. But some of you don't have that hand up, and when that boomerang comes, it clocks you upside the damn head. Every time. And next time you throw the boomerang further and you still don't put your hand up to catch the damn thing. See, these are the boomerang signifies the problems that you have that are unresolved in your relationship. So when you throw the boomerang out, you're out, whether it's spiritually or physically. You leave the house, you sleep in another bedroom or wherever, that's that boomerang going out. Then all of a sudden, while you're out there, you realize it's a lonely existence. It takes a lot of energy, blah, blah, blah. Your heart is broken. You're probably horny as hell. I don't know. And then you decide, okay, well, let me go back. And you go back with the same old tired rap and everything else. And the other person's probably feeling the same. And they so damn dumb they don't realize that you're using the same speech and using the same body language and everything you did before because they feeling the same way you do. They miss you too. Then you come back. But see, the problem is when you come back, see that hand that threw the boomerang didn't catch it. So it won't stop flying around. So it's still flying around, and one day that boomerang hit you upside the damn head, and then when you pass out, and you realize that something needs to change. Now that boomerang hitting you in the head signifies you finally realizing that the cycle needs to stop. This boomerang needs to quit flying around. It needs to stop. This trip is over. Something may happen in your life where you lose a job, lose a loved one, lose. You got to lose something. Lose your mind, maybe. I don't know. You got to lose something. And that will be your tower moment where you realize, you know what, I can't do this boomerang relationship no more. And unfortunately for some of y'all, because you've been so stubborn with your time, with your energy, not listening to spirit, that's exactly what's going to have to happen. It's always going to happen at the most inopportune time. Some of y'all been going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth with each other for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. I even heard a story about a man and a woman that been back and forth in a relationship for over 40 years. 40. That's half a lifetime for most of us. 40 years. Going through the same thing over and over again. Why? Because they know ain't nobody else going to put up with that dumb shit. And they're okay with that. But then when they're on the outs, they're bending everybody's ear. They're sitting on everybody's porch, drinking 40s, whining about it. They're standing on the street corner outside the store, smoking cigarettes with their old classmate, whining about it. And you know, when you're on the outs, they always bring a third party into it. That creates more drama. But it doesn't matter because that third party's not going to be in the picture that long anyway, because that person's going to wind up going back to where they came from. That's how come I make it a point. If you are not legally single, don't talk to me about no romance. You're in the friend zone automatically. Legal separation, unlegal separation. If it's not a divorce, I'm not hearing it. Because when you're separated, all it is a cooling off period for you to decide if you want to stay married or divorced. It is not finality. Divorce is finality. Period. And I don't care what anybody's saying in the comments. Well, they won't let me have so-and-so. They won't let me have so-and-so. If it's a stick or a brick or a piece of paper, let them have that damn stick or brick or piece of paper so you can move on with your life. But deep down, you don't want to. Boomerang relationships. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get myself ready and get out of here. But thank you very much for supporting the channel. Again, I'm truly humble, and welcome to the new subscribers. We're on a big journey. I've got a lot of stuff to share with you. So stay tuned every day for a video to uplift you. Peace to you all.